It's time I explained to you how a surfing incident long ago shaped my perspective on how I should live my life. I'm Hawaiian Chinese. My Hawaiian ancestors have been living in the Hawaiian Islands for thousands of years. My Chinese ancestors were Kung Fu masters who arrived in the Hawaiian Islands 5 generations ago in the early 1800s looking for adventure. Peace had come to Hawaii after King Kamehameha had conquered all the islands and ended the war between the kings of each individual island. My uncle, 5 generations ago, became the royal bodyguard to the Hawaiian queen. My grandfather, 5 generations ago, married a Hawaiian woman. With these two acts, the Hawaiian king and queen let them stay. There was no immigration department. My dad was curious if the history passed down through the family for generations was true. He had his DNA tested a few years ago, and the results showed he was 1/8 Hawaiian. My dad was a member of the Waikiki Surf Club, the same club as Duke Kahanamoku, a famous Hawaiian surfer. According to my mom, who sat on the beach watching us, my dad would give my younger brothers and I a ride on his surfboard before we could walk as a rite of passage. We would hold on to the front of his surfboard, and my dad would catch a small wave and ride to shore. He taught us all to swim by wading into the ocean, throwing us into the water, and slowly walking backwards to shore as we swam towards him. As a result, my younger brothers and I all developed a love of surfing. We were all very comfortable in the ocean. When I obtained my driving permit at age 14 and my driver's license at age 15, my younger brothers and I would strap our surfboards to the roof of the family station wagon and drive to Haleiwa on the North Shore when the waves came up in the winter. In the 1960s, it was easy to find parking in the Haleiwa Beach Park. As a young, invincible teenager, I didn't have a care in the world. As the oldest brother, I would ride the last wave into the beach park. My two younger brothers would ride in first. My third youngest brother was still at home because he was too young. One day, after 2 hours of surfing, my younger brothers caught their last waves into the beach park, and it was my turn to catch a wave and ride in. The biggest wave of the day appeared, and as I paddled to catch it, I realized my arms were too exhausted to make it to the bottom of the wave. I was thrown over the falls into the churning white water. The waves were so powerful that it snapped my ankle leash attached to the board like a thread. I surfaced just long enough to catch a new breath before the next wave crashed and sent me tumbling underwater. This continued until I got a few hundred yards closer to shore. As I continued swimming to shore, I became so exhausted that I felt like I couldn't get enough oxygen no matter how hard I was breathing. As I got closer to the Haleiwa Beach Park, the rip current started to take me back out. Suddenly I saw my surfboard pop out of the whitewater foam 30 feet up current from me. I swam as hard as I could, and as soon as I placed my fingertips on my board, I blacked out. I woke up vomiting, but I had no food in my stomach. I later learned it was a survival reaction to bring blood from my stomach to my brain to regain consciousness. I looked around me, and I saw the ocean was filled with blue, sparkling sapphires. The sun was a warm liquid yellow, melting on me like butter. I became concerned and wondered if I had died and was experiencing heaven. I paddled to shore, and as I was staring at the bright, radiation green grass glowing beneath my feet, my younger brothers ran up to me and yelled, "Where were you? We've been waiting 45 minutes." They couldn't see me in the churning whitewater offshore. Realizing that I was still alive, I started laughing hysterically. I didn't tell them what happened because they would tell my mom and she wouldn't let us go surfing. That psychedelic feeling lasted a couple hours. The perspective that I have gained has lasted me a lifetime and is still with me to this day. When I was convinced I was going to die, I never regretted anything I had ever done. I regretted the things I had not done. I was a good kid, but I didn't even regret unintentional mistakes. I had read books about catching salmon in Alaska and picking wild blueberries. Since that day, I have kept my bucket list short. I camped across country, and I've seen all 50 states, including Alaska, where I caught salmon and picked wild blueberries. I have traveled to different parts of the world. I have tried different professions to get rid of the what if factor. Win, lose, or draw, I have never wondered, what if? It might be described as a sample pack of what life has to offer. Obviously, I steer clear of harmful things and gravitate towards positive experiences. This journey in my life has led me to everyone at Aptera. I have no regrets. I will never wonder, what if I had purchased an Aptera and gone on a camping and fishing adventure? I wanted to give you a complete understanding of why I'm purchasing an Aptera. Thank you for your patience.